Alrighty, I'm just going to put this out because I need to share with the devs. I need to get a recording of it. I'll clean up my screen a little bit. But this has been a known issue for at least the past season, potentially 2 seasons. I can't quite remember. It's been a known issue. It's one of the outlying issues with minions, very specifically with men down, but it actually now is negatively impacting us in 2 different directions. So let me go ahead and explain what we're going to be testing here. For a while now, we've known that Titan's Fall, additional damage while you're fortified against an elite, was not increasing Mendel's damage unless you actively put a point into it. Basically, it's not active, and then you have to put a point in. So when you start off a pit run, you would have to take 1 point out of Titan's Fall, walk into the pit, put a point into Titan's Fall, and then it would read that damage. And I was trying to understand, 1, if that was still happening, but 2, what kind of impact this has. So I have 10 ranks to Titan's Fall here. We're going to walk up to this enemy. I'm going to turn off damage variance. We're going to gain the fortified status. We're going to look at the damage that we're dealing, both with our basic attack and with men down. We're going to do some calculations here. So we're going to walk up. I'm going to point out the damage that we need to look at. I'm going to turn off damage variance. I'm going to attack a couple times just so I can get the fortified status. Give me the fortified status. There we go. Wait for all of this to fall off, and then we're going to look at the base attack damage of our golem. Once it drops vulnerable, once everything falls off. Okay. Crit damage the golem is doing is 783,000 damage. It's that yellow number that's coming out the top right, and then our Mendel damage coming out the top left here is 6862. It's going to consistently do this damage. Nothing else is really going to change. If they lose healthy status, we're going to do more damage, but that's kind of to be expected. Now, I'm going to add in a single rank of Titan's Fall, bringing me from a 60% damage multiplier up to a 66% damage multiplier, but it's going to activate for the golem, and it's not going to change the base damage that the golem's doing at all. Put in my 1 point. Their damage has to like re-ramp for some reason, which is, I don't know what that is. No joke, have no idea what that is all about. But you notice that their crit damage from their base damage is still 783, whereas their crit damage from Mendel is now up to 10.9. Now, a little bit of the issue is that since we can't see all the damage numbers, devs, I did ask to be able to see all the damage numbers when we were in the training ground, but you know what? That's a whole other video. We're going to take our 10.9, and there are some additional decimals here that we can't see, and we're going to divide that by our 6862 number from before. You'll see that that is about a 58% damage increase, which makes sense with the fact that we were supposed to have 60% damage increase from our previous point. We have activated Titan's Fall. Here's the problem. You'll notice that we didn't increase our damage by 66%. And again, our main damage off the primary attack also did not increase. And in fact, if I put 2 more points into Titan's Fall here, after their damage re-ramps, something about them resets there. Their main hand damage is still 783. That has not increased. And their Mendel damage is still just 10.9. What this means for you, the minion player, if you did not know it already, is that before you walk into a pit, you have to take out a single point from Titan's Fall and then put that single point in. The funny part, though, is that we are still being robbed of damage. This will activate at your previous ranks of Titan's Fall from Mendel's damage, and it will snapshot on the base hand damage of the minion. Putting an additional point in will not get you the total bonus on either Mendel or your base damage, because your base damage is snapshotted at the previous rank, and Mendel only adds that number of ranks beforehand, but at least now it's active. Yes, there's higher damage numbers going on right now. I also have the Essence Glyph in, so that's why they're now doing more crit damage. Ignore that. That has nothing to do with this. Just want to put that out there. The takeaway is we're still using the same trick. You take 1 point out of Titan's Fall, you put it back in when you walk into the pit, but we are being scammed out of the final rank of damage for both of them. And if you just forget to do this, while your base damage is actually going to be fine, your Mendel damage is missing out on nearly double its total damage against bosses and elites. So there you go. I figured I'd put that out there just to clarify that this is, yes, A, still happening. 2, it's actually worse than I thought it was previously. But 3, now I understand why the damage numbers weren't acting up. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments if you find anything else going on. Obviously, I'm going to get this one reported over. Like I said, hello devs. Pleasure to see y'all. I hope that this helps. And yeah, that's it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Hopefully this helps you to better maximize your current playthrough on the minions. I am working on my minion build. The description will be down in the link, as well as the pinned comment with my current findings. I refuse to not use Golem. If you're looking for the strictly stronger version without the Golem, check out Sirach's build on Maxroll. I'll link that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this helps. Look forward to seeing y'all in the next video.